Hey guys, it's me, English teacher Matthew, and today I'm going to teach you some job interview skills. Now, I'm sure a number of you are looking for a new job. You're looking for a job where you can use the English that you have learnt or you have been learning for the last few years, right? Well, in today's video, I hope to give you some help, tips and advice to help you to get that job and to help you to boost your career and to help you to use English in your daily life as well. So today we're going to talk about job interviews, as I said, and at the beginning of a job interview it's very important to make a very good first impression. The first 30 seconds to a minute is key in any job interview, even in your mother language. So it's also very key in English too. It's so important. So I suggest you do some things as soon as you walk into the interview, as soon as you enter the interviewer and greet the interviewer. First thing I suggest you do is to start with some small talk before he's even or she has even asked you a question. You can talk about many different things. For example, in the UK, where I'm from, we like to talk about the weather. Maybe you can point out that it's a sunny day, or that it's a bit chilly. Ooh, it's a bit chilly today. Ooh, it's a bit cold. You could also talk about the traffic. The traffic was awful getting here. Or you could just make a point about the room. Oh, the decoration is very nice in this room. Doing all of these things might help you get off to a great start in your interview. But of course, the most important thing in your interview is the interview questions themselves, right? So how do we answer some of the toughest interview questions? Let's get into today's video and hopefully you can learn something new. Undoubtedly, the first question is always going to be something like, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. Oof, such a tough question, right? Maybe even in your own language, you find it very difficult to answer this question. What I usually suggest to some of the students I have who are preparing for interviews is that you should have a past, present, future structure to the way you answer this question. You talk about the past first. For example, you can talk about your school. You can say something like, I graduated from this school in this year. I graduated from the University of Greenwich in 2009, for example. You can also talk about the jobs you had previous. From 2009 to 2012, I worked as a salesperson. So I have used a from 1 year to another year, and then I explained what I did. From 2009 to 2012, I worked in sales. And you can also talk about what you have been doing from the past until now, using present perfect. Present perfect continuous. I have been working as a teacher for the last 7 years. I have been doing this for this amount of time. Or I have been doing this since this year. This is a great way to talk about the past. When you talk about now, you can use the phrase currently or at the moment. I am doing this. I am doing this. Present continuous to talk about now. Maybe you also want to talk about what you want to do in the future, your plan. In the future, I hope to do this. In the future, I hope to do this. And you see here we're talking about the past, the present, and the future all in one question. It's going to be quite complicated, but if you can master the past tense, the present tense and future tense, it will be good. The next question I'd like to talk about is to do with what is your greatest strength and what is your greatest weakness? Both very difficult questions, right? But they can be answered easily. Let's start off with talking about our strengths. When we talk about our strengths, we need to give a lot of positive adjectives. We need to talk about how positive we are, how fantastic we are, how absolutely brilliant we are. But what you need to choose, I think, is you need to choose a relevant skill or something that's relevant to the job position that you're looking for. Relevant means that it is similar to. So, for example, if I'm going to get a job in an office, I'm not going to talk about how I am a fantastic litter picker. Oh, I'm so great at picking up rubbish, that's why I should join your company. It's not really the way. You have to really choose a skill that is similar and relevant to the job that you are looking for. That's the key to finding a strength. So think about the job when you think about what strength you are going to talk about. Give some examples as well. When we're talking about weakness, that can be a little bit more difficult, right? So who wants to talk about their weakness? Not many people, even me. I have weaknesses, but I'm not going to list them to you right now. But what you want to do when you talk about a weakness is, yes, you want to point out something that you're bad at, but what you want to do is you want to then say how you have learned from it. A weakness is something you learn from. So you can use the phrase, I used to, but now. So when we use this phrase, I used to, but now, this means I did this in the past quite often, but now I've changed this. I've learned from this, and I do this now. Again, if you can think of something that's relevant to your job or the job you want to get, that's going to help you as well. But it's a tough question, right? What's your weakness? Tell me in the comments below. Okay, so the next difficult question I want to talk to you about is, why do you want this job? Now, some of you will probably think, money, but it's not a good idea to talk about money at this stage. It's better to talk about other things. It's better to talk about your interests or your experiences, or maybe what you're good at, right? That can help you to get the job. So here are a couple of sentences you can say if someone asks you this question. The first sentence is, I feel I'm good at. I feel I'm good at. I feel I'm good at sales. I feel I'm good at communication. These things, yes, I feel I'm good at something. If you want to say that you are good at doing something. Another sentence you can say is, well, I have previous experience in. I have previous experience in sales. Because if you have previous experience in something, maybe that will help you get a job with this experience. Or maybe you're interested in it. So you can say, I've always been interested in sales. And lastly, maybe it's your ambition. It's always been my ambition to be. It's always been my ambition to be a pilot. So hire me. And the last question I want to talk to you about is an extremely difficult question because they will be asking about your future. This question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know. It's a difficult question, but how do you answer it? The first sentences that come to my mind are using sentences such as future continuous or future perfect. Future continuous is will be doing something. I will be helping people in 5 years, for example. I will be working in a top 100 company in 5 years. Future perfect is I will have done something, so you will have already done this in that time. Well, I hope I will have already had children and I will have already been promoted once or maybe twice. Or you can just say, in 5 years, I would like, and you can finish this sentence. But it's a difficult question, right? What will you be doing in 5 years' time? Tell me in the comments below. And lastly, and most importantly, make sure that when the interview is over, that you ask at least 2 to 3 questions about the job. This can show the interviewer that you are extremely interested in the position. So make sure you research the company beforehand and think of some questions to ask them. There are no silly questions, so just to think of a few questions to ask before you enter the interview. So when the interview is over, you can ask them about it. Okay? And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope this video has been useful for you, and I hope if you're going to have an interview soon that this video can help you to get the job you want. So I just want to say good luck. And thank you for watching today's video. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And until next time, keep practicing.